I'm one of the Michaels. I'm Michael McMillan. I co-founded Samara with my colleague Alison Lote a number of years ago, and I'm joined this evening with a number of my Samara colleagues here in the corner. First of all, I think it's really terrific what you folks are doing in this ongoing group. It's a beautiful day outside. There's a film festival happening. There's bars serving beer outside, and you're inside here talking, obviously because you care. So congratulations to the organizers and to all of you for doing this tonight, and I understand doing it on an ongoing basis. Really cool, really impressive. Very quickly, Samara is a Toronto-based charity with a national purpose and focus. We started Samara a couple of years ago. By the way, Samara is that winged helicopter seed, that sort of thing that comes down in the fall from the maple tree, that double-winged seed, that's called a Samara. So the conceit of the name Samara is that from small maple seeds, big trees or big ideas might grow. But the background from my perspective of starting Samara was that I found myself 5-6 years ago losing more and more dinner party debates. Now that wasn't uncommon, I didn't mind that so much, but what really pissed me off was that my otherwise intelligent friends would say, Mike, why are you going on and on about that? Always talking about politics or policy or this and that. And it doesn't make any difference. Quit talking about it. Get over it. Don't get a hernia. Shut up, and just as long as you can look after yourself and have your own pile of acorns to get you through the winter, you're okay. And if we each do that separately, we'll all be fine. I couldn't disagree more. And from my perspective, that's why Alison Lote and I started Samara. Out of the old-fashioned belief, really out-of-date, donkey-era thing that says that public leadership matters, that civil engagement, civil society engagement, participation by all of us matters a heck of a lot. So at Samara, our purpose is to try to change how we as Canadians engage in our civil society, in our democracy. So we undertake research and education projects. One of them, a few years ago, was to conduct the first ever systematic series of exit interviews with former MPs. Now we all know that in many aspects of the private sector, when a senior exec leaves, you do an exit interview and you find out really interesting stuff from her or from him about that they perhaps wouldn't have said when they were working in the organization. Well, it would turn out that in public life we don't care enough, and we haven't been doing these exit interviews. Alison and I and our colleagues did. We did 80 interviews with former federal members of parliament. This is most of the class of 06 and 08. The defeated and the retired, all parties that were in the Commons across the country, men and women, back bench, front bench, exactly indicative of the entire Commons. We asked them what brought them to public life, what they wanted to accomplish, and what their reflections were, and what their advice to the nation is after the fact. We presumed that they would tell us stuff that reflected their partisan sort of sweater, that their colors, that the Liberals would say this, the NDP that, the Tories this, you know, the Bloc that, and so on. We were shocked that the responses from these 80 MPs, by the way, 35 of them were cabinet ministers, and the balance were not. One was a prime minister, Paul Martin. We assumed that they would speak the party lines, but we were shocked instead how remarkably consistent their narratives were. If you do get a chance ever to read the book, you'll find out that we don't necessarily believe everything they told us. But that doesn't matter so much, because when you get the same narrative, we were approaching this as documentarians. So when you get a similar story 80 times over, you have to figure out whether it's exactly true or not. Hardly matters. It's what that chosen narrative is that means a lot. I won't tell you everything in the book. We'll get into that Q&A, and it also in many ways connects to what the other Michael is up to for many, many years, but in recent months in terms of his new bill. But what the MPs talked about repeatedly was they had significant concerns with their own party and the leadership of their own party, and they felt strangled by the party control at the very center of their party. They entered Ottawa with a great sense of individual agency, accomplishment in their previous careers, and they felt great frustration with the leadership of their own party. And this is what they told us across party lines, backbench and front bench. And I think it ties in to what Michael Chong is also talking about. I'll pass the mic over to him, and then I guess we're going to get into a Q&A and general conversation. Thank you.